All right, we're good. Ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm here with my man Juan. Say what's up.
What's good?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let's take us through kind of like your running journey. Like where did it all start? What gave you like the inspiration to run? And then like kind of where are you at like right now?
Okay. So my running journey started in sixth grade because I wanted to be a sprinter uh, in sixth grade, but you couldn't do athletics in sixth grade because in our district you could start in seventh grade, and I wanted to do the 100 meters, and since uh, I was 4'6" at that time and like 70 something pounds. I couldn't compete with the other like really fast kids. So I tried out for distance. Then coach, like I got like second for the tryouts for distance, and I'm like, I'm pretty good at this. I should keep doing this. And in seventh grade, I ran the mile and the mile and a half, and I was like really fast, and I just really liked it. And
Yeah,
this
you
is about
placed
the
you
time.
placed pretty high at districts, right?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
was
What and what'd you run in seventh grade?
mile and the mile and a half.
But yeah, what were your times?
Oh yeah. I ran 5:30 for the mile and like 8:44 for the mile and a half.
Yeah.
And during oh yeah, I also quit swimming at this time because I was swimming my whole life before this.
Yeah, so you
Uh,
swam for a long time, and then after you placed, like after seventh grade, you decided to quit swimming.
yeah, and go full time running.
Yeah.
And well, during the summer between seventh and eighth grade, I had a really bad injury. I had appendicitis that took me out for 2 months, and then eighth grade started, and that's when I could run. But since I hadn't trained during the summer at all, uh, it like I had an overuse injury since like we started way too fast, and like I tore a muscle in my hip, and it was really bad. That took me out for like a month, and yeah, during eighth grade, I got really sad that I didn't make it to districts, and I wasn't like top people.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just didn't run for a while, and then after that, I decided I should get back into running again. So I called up my friend Daniil and asked him if he wanted to run. So we started with like 3 or 4 miles at like 8:30 pace. Like that seems easy now, but back then it was like really hard for me. And I just went on from there, and I decided to train during the whole summer with like all the cross country team, and that's how I got good.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, how was it like? Was it like really hard, like mentally being like one of like the best people in seventh grade, and then in eighth grade not even being like top three and being able to like go to districts? Like, I know we had like a really stacked team, but still, like that had to, be kind of demoralizing.
Yeah, it was like really demoralizing, and like I was like, it was sad to be honest.
Yeah. So I want to ask now, what do you feel like your kind of like your breakout race was? Like where you ran and then you were like, "Oh yeah, like that was really good."
Definitely Region 3 preview in cross country. I got sixth at that race, and it was like 90 something degrees, and there were cracks in the course, and it was really hilly. But I
Yeah.
got sixth,
If you
and it was
know
really good.
Region 3 preview, the Sam Houston State course, if you know, that's a bad course. A lot of people die on that course.
Yeah, well, that was definitely my breakout race. I did really good at that race,
Yeah.
and I just went on from there. Started
Hmm.
placing pretty high.
So, what do you feel like the hardest race you ever ran was?
Definite.
What race hurt the most?
When I ran the 2 mile, my personal best, it was like the week before spring break. I ran my personal best of 10:28 in the 2 mile, and it was lap 5 really hurt, and like I kind of died, but then people in front of me died, and I like just got a boost and decided, and I just went for it.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but I got a personal best, so that was really good.
So what do you feel like your best race or like most impressive like personal best is from, you know, like 5K on the cross country, on the track? Like what do you feel like out of all of your like personal best, like what do you feel like your best one is?
Probably my half marathon PR.
Okay, taking it to the roads. All right.
Yeah, I had a really good race. I got first in my age group. I got first in my age group and first for the age group above me, too.
Yeah. And what'd you run for that race?
1 hour, 24 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Which is like 6:20 pace or faster?
Around that, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So, like, what do you feel like... So, back to, like, you know, like, maybe, like, the shorter stuff, like, the school stuff, what do you feel like your most impressive from, like, cross-country and track is?
Either Nike South or the race where I PR'd in the 2 mile.
So, the 10:26 2 mile, right?
10:28.
10:28 2 mile, or what'd you run for that 5K?
17:42.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that the 2 mile is like more impressive to me at least, but I don't know. Whatever you think.
Yeah. I think I could do a 5K time trial and like beat that. I need to do a track 5K. I should do that.
Ooh, okay, yeah. This is like the perfect time because we just stopped doing speed workouts, so this is sort of the time to do a time trial.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see a sub 5 this freshman season, or are you waiting for next year?
I'm not sure. Like the mile is my distance. Like
yeah, but I mean, if you run under 10:30 in the 2 mile, I feel like you can do it with if you get like a pacer.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Juan. So like, what's
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what's like one thing that we should look out for?
Okay, if you get injured, don't rush the recovery.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, like, do you feel like it was worth it? Maybe, like, not being as good in 8th grade, but, like, not rushing your recovery, and then being, like, really good in 9th grade? Like, do you feel like that was, like, worth it?
To be honest, yeah, because, like, what matters is now, not back then.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for your time. I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, no problem. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm now here with David. How's it doing?
I'm doing good, Jacob.
Alrighty.
Just glad to be on.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So for this, we're taking it back to the beginning, the very beginning. So, why did you start running? Like, what's the origin story? Like, how did it happen? Like, just take us back to the beginning.
So, it really started when I'd probably say I probably had to be 10, if that. And my dad would always run in the afternoon when he'd get home from work, and I'd ride my bike with him. And I was like, I want to be like that someday. And eventually, after riding with him while he was running, and a few years down the road, I just started running on my own then, and started doing some 5Ks every now and then. It wasn't too fast back then, but then came 7th grade. So that's when my running really took. That's when I met Oliver, and that's when I met Jacob, you, and basically how my entire running started. And that really just set the foundation for my true love of running. And ever since then, it's just been my life. Like every morning I get on my running clothes and just go for a run. That's just life.
Yeah. So you mentioned like running is life. Like is that like sort of just like is that your purpose when running? Like when you talk about running with a purpose and you talk about like what your running purpose is, do you feel like just running is life? Like do you feel like that's your purpose for running?
I feel like it's not just, well, the sport, it's not the sport itself, it's not a sport, it's a lifestyle. And I really, life is my purpose when running. As much as I would love to think it, I probably won't go pro. As much as I want to, it's very hard to go pro. But even then, if I don't become a pro runner, I can still run just for fun and to stay in shape. And I think that's just bigger than everything else, just staying in shape and having fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you mentioned like running in 7th grade. So,
Yes.
like how was? David, are you still on? David?
Yes.
Okay, hold up. Sorry,
Here.
I disconnected. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right, going back to you mentioned like running in 7th grade.
Yes.
So back in like running in 7th grade, was it just something you were just like, yeah, I'm gonna run in? Like, did you always know you were gonna run in 7th grade, or was it like more for fun back then?
It was more for fun, and it was really more of a spur of the moment thing. Because back in 7th grade, I mean, cross country was barely a sport in middle school. It was more of a club. We didn't even have our own athletic period. And my mom was talking to someone from the school because that's when she started working there. They mentioned cross country, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. How do I do that? And it was really just like a few days before the school started that I knew I wanted that. I knew I was going to run cross country. And I was really nervous that first day, but then I showed up and we were all standing in a line right in front of the track. It was like dark. It was early in the morning. I was like one of the only 3 or 4 people there. It was me, Michael Archie, who's still running, and then Richard and Aaron who are not running. And I had known Michael from elementary school, from like the 7 and under club. And ever since that beginning in 7th grade, we've just been recruiting more and more people. And the next day, Oliver showed up, and that really started our original little tight-knit running group.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna ask you now, and you probably have a lot, but okay, so like going back like through 7th grade, 8th grade, even like freshman year now, what do you feel like your like breakout race was, where it's like, yeah, I'm here?
I really think my breakout race was the first meet in 8th grade. That 2400.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember this.
That's when I was like, I'm going to make a statement. This is going to be my season. This is going to be my race. And it started off a bit slow in that race. And then Oliver took off, broke away from Jack Snowden. It was me and him. And then 800 to go. I was just like, I'm going to go for it. I don't care what everybody's yelling around me. It's just me in the final 2 laps on this track.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I won my first race too. And then I went back later that night and won another.
Yeah, I feel like winning your first 2 races is a good, definitely like a good like breakout meet. Usually, like winning your like the first race that you win is always like your breakout race, kind of.
Right.
All right. So now I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel like your hardest race was? Like, what's like the hardest race you ever ran? Not like your worst race, just like what really hurt the most.
This cross country season was a really hard one. It took me a while to adjust to just the sheer stress and volume of this freshman year, and that combined with just high school cross country, and how competitive of a team we were just made for some really tough races in cross country this year. And probably the hardest one out of that was probably it was Region 3 preview. We were racing a JV race.
Yeah, it was like, we ran at like 11, and it was like 95 degrees.
Oh, I don't run well in the heat, and just, it was an emotionally tough race too, because I was trying to stay up there with Michael and Oliver, and next thing you know, I see Trevor limping hurt out of nowhere, and then later in that race, just get totally destroyed by the hills. I get Juan past me. I get like what seems like our entire team past me, and I'm just barely trying to make it over the finish line. And that was probably the toughest race for me.
Yeah, and like
Foot Locker, the course and the competition are hard, but it just doesn't compare to Region 3 preview.
Yeah, and you know, the crazy thing about Region 3 preview, it's like the whole team passed you, but you also got like 10th in the race,
Yeah,
which just, you know, it kind of shows, like,
mind-blowing.
it's like you can be like the 5th runner that day, but still be getting like top 10 in the race.
Yeah, everybody was like, come on, you did great. Like, I did do good in that race, but just in the sheer moment, looking back on it, I really convinced myself mentally that I didn't do good because of how I did compared to the team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like for your cross country season, you had like maybe some up and downs. You know, you were what, like 5th at the district meet.
Yeah, I was.
Which is, you know, yeah, I think you might have wanted that top 3, but also you had like races like Andy Wells where you busted out a 10:30. Now, you know, it's a fast course, but getting able to get like 8th at Andy Wells and bust out a 10:30 is like pretty crazy.
Yeah, I remember for a couple weeks I was ranked pretty high up there in the state for freshmen.
Yeah. So, okay, so like, what do you feel like your maybe not like your best PR race, but like maybe what do you feel like the best race you ever had was?
My best race I've ever had? Oh, that's a really tough one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because you just think back, you know, like that. I mean, when you busted out what, like that 504 in 8th grade or whatever.
Yes.
That was a good one. You ran 449 this year. You broke 450.
Yeah, that.
It's good to have a lot to choose from.
So I think I have 2 now. I think the one that comes in first is our 4x-mile.
Ooh, okay. So like a team race. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think that team race was probably the best race I've ever had.
Just because, yeah, because if you don't know the 4x-mile, I wasn't on it, but the team averaged under 5 per leg, and then Oliver went first, and they actually put their fastest runner on the first leg. So,
yeah.
And then they had like a little bit of better handoff, and then you had, I think the guy had like 10 meters on you, and you just hunted him down in the first 200 and built like a big gap.
I went out like a 66.
Yeah, something crazy.
Like, when that guy stuck with Oliver all the way through, like, we were worried, because we were coming in there expecting to just be blowing everyone away and just going for records, and me and you were probably one of the few people that were like, yeah, we should at least still not worry, but focus on the competition.
Yeah.
And like, it kind of scared us a little that first leg, so I just really went out there and I was like, this is going to be a make or break moment. I gotta make a statement. And I think I put, what was it?
You put like 50 meters on him.
Yeah, I think by the end of my leg, I put 200 meters on him. And
yeah.
I really feel like that really set us up for success in the later parts of a race.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, y'all broke the record by like 30 seconds or something like that, the freshman record.
It was a lot.
Yeah, y'all had like a 4:55 average or something like that.
Yeah, I think the average for the previous record was like...
It was like 5:15, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're only 30 seconds off the varsity record, too.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the second one is? I'm thinking of one that might be the 1200 you ran at the Woodlands meet, the first meet of the season. The 1200, that was pretty good.
That was a pretty good one, but personally for me, I think it was the meet at Summer Creek where we had Michael, me, Oliver, all in one race in the mile.
Oh, and like Emilio too, right?
Yeah.
And Trevor.
I ran like a 5:04, I think it was.
Yeah, 5:04 in 8th grade.
Yeah. That was a really good race for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a confidence booster, and just how it was going. The race was just really big for me because me, Emilio, and Trevor were going back and forth for like the first 300, and I was like, I'm just sick of this. Y'all can figure second and third place out, but I'm just gonna go for it. So like 300 in, it was 300 in, I just put in this huge surge and drop all of them, and I don't see them again till after the race. But I still remember along the sides all the other coaches from different schools yelling, he's gonna crater, just stay close to him. And that just was really motivation for me too.
It's like, no, I'm not cratering.
Yeah, I'm not cratering.
Alright. Well, do you have anything else? What's one thing we should know about David?
He likes to make statements. Whether it's fashion, running, anything, he likes to make statements.
That's facts. Alright, well, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Alright, see you.
Having me on.
Alright, see you later.
See ya.
Alright, bye. Alright, what's going on, Trevor?
Nothing much. How about yourself?
Good. How's your running been?
It's been pretty good. We have to do this easy week or whatever, but
yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Ooh. Are you planning on doing any time trials this little break?
I'm planning on doing some track workouts this week.
Oh, okay. So wait, so no time trial till next cross country?
No.
Oh, okay. Just pure all training.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So first question, we're gonna take things way back. What's your running story? Your running journey? Like, where did it all begin?
It all began, I guess, when I moved here. I was like 9 or 10, and I joined track to get in shape for football. And then I sucked at football. I was pretty good at track, so then I kind of stuck with it. And yeah, I'm here now. So.
Yeah. So, the youth running, you started when you were about 9 or 10. Like, how fast were you going back then?
Well, see, back then I thought I was a sprinter. So I ran like the 100, 200, 400, and then sometimes I'd run the 800.
Okay. Yeah. So how overall, how was your, pre-middle school track experience?
I sucked. I think I got like one type of ribbon or whatever in summer track, and that was about it. I think I went JOs once, but I don't think I was in 6th grade yet.
Dang. So. All right, so going into middle school, obviously, you got a little bit better.
Yeah, that was the first time I started running cross country, 7th grade. Coach Evans, which was our PE teacher, he kind of convinced me to start it up, and then.
So at this point, were you still like a 200, 400 runner?
No, I had moved for the mile. I had started running the mile just a little bit.
Oh, okay. So how was the switch between running 200, 400 to 800 mile?
I actually started seeing success, which was cool. I like that.
So your coach was like, "Hey man, this sprint stuff isn't working out. You trying to switch to the middle distance?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, going into middle school, Coach Evans convinced you to come out for cross country.
Yeah, and then the first time trial, I smacked everybody, and I was like, hold up, I think this is it. So then I ran, and then got second in districts for cross country, which is sad. So I trained real hard over spring and winter for track season. Was the favorite to win, and then got second again.
So 7th grade track, you got second in the mile.
Yeah, second in the mile, and then second in the mile and a half. And
You ran the mile and a half
cross-country.
in 7. I thought you ran
No,
the 800.
cross-country.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I run the 800 in 7th grade. I got 4th or something like that.
Okay, so top of the district.
Like 0.2 of a second. I got outkicked at the line, which is a staple for me. Always getting outkicked at the line.
Hey man, don't worry about it. All right, so then moving forward, 8th grade.
8th grade cross country, I did pretty good. Got outkicked at the line again in districts for another second place. And then I started to get hurt, and that's where things started getting rough for me. I was hurt after cross country all the way to track. Never really got rolling into track. I think I placed 6th in both my events. So I still scored for the team.
Yeah.
Which I mean.
But I mean, our district was stacked that year, so even though you were getting 6th, you were still running like pretty fast times. What were you running 8th grade track?
I broke the school record and got 6th. So that's how fast we were going.
Yeah, breaking the school record and getting 6th. That's wild.
Yeah.
So you ran what, like 750? What'd you run in 8th grade?
I'm actually wearing the shirt 756.
You're in 756. And then for the mile, you ran under 510, right?
Yeah, 504.
504. Dang.
And
So
then, no, wait, 507.
oh yeah. Okay. So 507 got 6th again with the 507, which is kind of crazy. Now that you think about it. Yeah. The person that won ended up going like 455. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Anyways.
As an 8th grader.
So, and then going into that AAU season, you ran like 442, right?
442, 1500, and national championships. That was actually a really good meet for me. I think I placed top 7 in every single event.
Yeah.
That I ran in. I was a substitute for the 4x4 because our guy got hurt, and then I ended up running like a 58, which I was shocked because I'm not good at foot speed.
Yeah, so the 442, that's like a 504 mile converted.
Yeah. And then let's see, I went 3,000 and 10:08. Pretty sure. Something like that. So.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. That's like around like 1050 converted, around there.
1050, 1045, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then
First couple cross country meets going into high school, I did pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
I did decent in our first thing. I think I ran like a 5:17. It was like a 1 mile repeat. But
the 1 mile relay thing?
Yeah, but it was like an uphill course. It was brutal. It was a brutal course.
Yeah. And then you got second at Watermelon with the freshmen, and we have like a stacked freshman class, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. I got second, got outkicked at the line by Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
you were, like 8th at Friday Night Lights? Like 3rd on the team?
8th at Friday Night Lights, 3rd on our team.
And that's like some pretty good comp, the Woodlands.
Yeah. I remember before that race, having issues with my bladder, and that kind of messed me up before the race started. So I had lost the race before we even started.
Yeah. And then, I don't want to bring up like the bad memories or whatever, but Region 3
what happened next
Region 3 preview after that.
Yeah, so that was supposed to be my race. Like, I was
Because
the
right,
favorite
first
club at
5K of the season.
Yeah, and I think I got out decent, but I got to the bottom of the hill and my foot was having this sharp pain on the top, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but it turned out that I had like a disease in my foot that I wasn't taking care of properly. So it basically took me out for a good 3 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I think the first meet back was another 5K, but I think it was
The first meet back for you was another 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long were you out for?
4 weeks without running at all, and then I had just started running that week back.
Yeah.
And then I think I ran like an 18:24 or something, which I was shocked. I was like, dang, that's slow. But it was kind of to be expected, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then moving into this winter, you had some. You discovered you had asthma.
Yeah, asthmatic. And so first meet of the year, DMR, did pretty good. Pulled the dub for our team.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the hurdles, did okay, I guess.
Yeah, dude, you didn't even mention that you're a hurdler.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hurdle is kind of a hobby. I'm not too good at it, but I'm better than most. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then second meet, that's when I figured out I was just couldn't even make it to the mile. I was hurting so bad.
Yeah, just.
So couldn't breathe. You were there. That was awful.
Yeah, I was there. When did you drop out? Like 800?
800.
Yeah. So yeah.
It was also freezing that day, so that didn't really help me.
Yeah, it was like 20-mile winds. The videos on my channel. In the thing, it's like very windy.
Yeah. And let's see. The next track meet back, I ran an 800 and 218 or 219, which is still very out of shape. But I was so pissed off that after that race, I went and ran 2-mile tempo at 11:02. Just right after the race, which probably wasn't smart, but I was pissed. So.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe some up and downs, but I mean, overall, what do you feel like your breakout race was? Like the one race where you're like, dang, like I'm good.
It was probably 7th grade. 8th grade. Cross country season where I beat Jack. That was the race. Was like, dang. And then right after, I went and played a football game. Same day, 30
Dang.
minutes away. Hopped to the car, went there and balled out. I think I had like 4 receptions for like 50 yards and then like a couple tackles.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's see. What else? Okay, oh yeah. So, what do you feel like the hardest race you ever ran was? Like, not necessarily your worst race, but the race that, like, really just hurt the most. Because, like, sometimes your hardest race is, like, your best race. In the case of, I was talking to Juan earlier.
Let's see. I've been in a couple hard races. Let's see. It was probably, I would say, national championships in the 1.5 miles. I was still kind of
3K?
dealing with. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the 3K. Yeah, 3K.
Yeah.
Not the 1.5 miles.
Where was this at? And what grade were you in?
It was summer of 8th grade year, so I was going to be in 9th grade.
Okay, so just last summer.
Yeah.
Was it at JO's or was it a different national championship?
It was outdoor national championships at Disney.
Oh, okay.
So you have the national championships, which everybody can go to, but it's like really, really, really high competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there was like 40 or 50 people in that race. That's 2 heats. 30 people in each heat. Something like that. I was in the fast heats, which is cool.
Yeah. So wait.
But, I didn't
So
really have
the
that
one
fast
in
of
the
a
one
time.
in at Disney anyone can go to, but the JOs in like North Carolina or whatever you have to like qualify for, right?
Yeah. I don't
Oh.
think I had qualified at the time either. You could get top 8 in national championships to qualify, and that's what most people do. If you can't, if like you can't make it to districts and regionals, which a lot of people can't, you make the long drive out to Florida, and you run against. And it's also like just kind of see where you're at and see what the competition's going to be.
Yeah.
But it was fierce competition. I think I was trying to map out splits to go 10:15 because my PR was a 10:25,
Yeah.
and then about halfway, or no, probably a little over halfway, like 75% in. I looked at my wrist. I was like 5 seconds ahead of pace, and I was like, you know what? Screw the pace. Let's just go. And I think I was in 10th at the time. And then I outkicked 3 people last lap to get top 7. But that last kick was hard. It was brutal.
And you ran what, like 10:08 for 3K?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think at AAU Michael got like 18th overall and ran like 10:06. So
Yeah, he went. That was JO's. That was
Yeah.
probably my most heartbreaking race because I fell. I was in the fast heat. I had a pretty good chance to medal, and then I fell on the second lap.
Yeah,
That was hard.
for sure. All right. So what do you feel like? So, okay. So you mentioned your hardest race, which you felt like was that national championship was the hardest race.
Yeah.
Because with like 2 laps to go, you're just like, I'm kicking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to kick because there was like, they were like, the closest person was 30 meters ahead. It was I was kind of in no man's land, and that sucked.
So do you feel like that was also your best race? Like your hardest race was your best race?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say probably my best race as of recently that I can remember is probably the watermelon run.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I really just like kicked it when we made it about a mile in. And I was like, I was rounding out like 6th, and then I just moved up. I even took the lead and then died. But I did pretty good that race.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Alright, I gotta go work out, so
All right. See ya.
see ya.
All right. Bye.